Hey everyone, I wanted to go over the new and exciting news that we have for Tactics Ogre Reborn, which is set to release onto the Nintendo Switch on November 11th, which is just a few days away. And today not only are we going to be checking out a bunch of brand new screenshots directly uploaded from Square Enix as a brand new blog update has been shared, we're also going to be checking out 10 brand new battle combat features, brand new detailed skills, and of course, plenty of new characters. So starting right away, they mention when it comes to the battlefield changes, they mention that various contained elements will be affecting your combat experience, such as weather and the terrain itself. If you can make a good use of these elements, it's possible to gain the advantage in every single battle. When it comes to the terrain, aside from interiors and exteriors of buildings, such as forts, castles, aqueducts, and even special terrains, such as plains, snowfields, and plenty of volcanoes, you have various types of terrains with the same battlefield engagements with different effects for each one of your units. A typical effect perhaps can be a hit rate, where the terrain and the tile of the unit standing on it will be directly affected and raise the hit rate or perhaps lower it versus a melee or another ranged unit. So of course, based on each one of your unit's classes, placement and locations, of course, is going to play a massive role. Subsequently, they also mentioned that weather will be a big key component. It may rain or even snow in the outdoor battles. The weather will change from the time of day during any sort of specific battle, with rain falling heavily at times or snow seizing in. The worse the weather, the worse the visibility, and the lower the accuracy of your attacks. Weather also affects the cost of movements in some terrains, affecting the maneuvering and tactics of both your army and the enemy as well. So you're going to have to pay attention basically at what time of the day. The details tell you before you actually engage in one of any challenge battles. They're going to tell you if in the afternoon or the dusk or whatever it might be, you might end up getting a downpour or a snowstorm. So you're going to want to prepare as you're setting up to go into any one of the challenges or any one of the stages beforehand. Another feature they do make a point to notice is the buried treasures. When units end their turn of certain tiles, you may find specific items that are buried in specific locations, some which can be found by destroying obstacles or by burning grass or even snowfields to expose the ground. So plenty of rewards cannot necessarily just be found at the end of any engagement by taking down units or even recruiting some of them as well, but of course through buried treasures. Another thing you're going to want to keep your eyes peeled is basically the changes of different events. Various events will be occurring in the battlefield depending on certain situations, such as the appearance of specific units under attack and surrounded by enemies, or perhaps a special conversation between a certain character will be triggered. The story changes dramatically depending on your actions and choices in certain situations. Occasionally, however, units under certain enemy attacks may appear on the battlefield, and you'll be able to keep the units under attack on their feet as you finish the battle with the target unit alive. You may see the change in the story as follows. So of course, if you keep certain enemies not necessarily in the best shape, but also not necessarily killed, you may end up seeing the story diverge just a little bit. This also relates to the special conversation events that may occur in certain characters are preset. For example, if you're preparing for a battle with a certain character who has a history with others in your party, you may want to select those characters to send them into battle together in the party screen option so they can engage and battle together and become more powerful allies as you continue along. Now, of course, as you choose to engage with enemies, one of the things you will notice is that you have plenty of options at your disposal to choose how you wish to engage with every single enemy. Specifically, when it comes to skills, it is mentioned that a unit level increases and a greater variety of skills become available for each one of your classes. You can assign a unit up to 4 skills, giving them unique abilities depending on the skills that they have been assigned. So of course, not only classes and the equipment, and of course, even some of the skills you found in a specific floor as you take down different units will be playing a massive role into this, but also of course, which skills you have equipped and if your unit is properly prepared for any one of the engagements. Skills are categorized into 4 different types: action, support, auto, and special. When it comes to actions, these skills can be executed at any time, similar to weapon attacks or even magic. Assigned skills appear as an action under the skills menu, and action skills require MP to use. Some will give you 100% hit rate and a guaranteed critical hit, while others enable you to recruit an enemy unit to join your party. So depending on just how friendly or how much of an enemy the target unit may be, you'll certainly want to take advantage of that. When it comes to support, it says that simply assigning these skills provides a passive benefit to the unit. Some support skills will increase your HP or even MP, while others will automatically trigger a counterattack whenever you're attacked. So essentially you want to keep an eye out for some active skills, but of course supportive skills to kind of round out your unit. And of course you can set these before any single battle. When it comes to auto, it mentions that the effects of these skills have a chance to trigger automatically when a unit becomes active. No MP is consumed when they trigger. There are auto skills that increase MP recovery and others that increase the distance of ranged attacks. The trigger rate of auto skills can be increased by acquiring skill trigger rate buff cards or by reaching a certain unit level. So not only can you become more powerful by of course just leveling up any one of your units, but of course acquiring skill trigger cards, which of course will be laid out in the map as you kind of progress along and you take down more enemies. So always keeping an eye out for those skill cards will be beneficial, specifically if your unit is rather auto powerful setup heavy. And lastly, they mentioned that specials are unique unit skills that only certain races can use. Assigned skills appear as an action bar act in the menu, and special skills require MP to perform. These are skills such as breath attacks by dragging units or other damage dealing attacks that apply plenty of debuffs. The skills that can be acquired differ depending on the unit's class and race, and there are plenty of different ones based on not just specifically like they mentioned your race, but also the class of character you are choosing to engage with. So keeping in mind that pretty much every single one of the classes will have some sort of unique skill or attack at their disposal. On top of that, you can double that down if they have a matching race on top of that, and of course we'll just end up giving you double the benefit for those units to become even more powerful than they typically would have been. Now they do have specifically mentioned in the past before that there are no real limiters to which unit can become what or which class, but of course now that they mentioned that races will have some sort of inherent benefits to a specific class, and to gain an extra skill you may want to keep an eye out to synergize even better. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. 10 brand new features being added in for Tactics Ogre Reborn onto the Nintendo Switch, releasing relatively soon. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!